All right, everybody, welcome back to the You Hipster podcast.
Welcome to the second episode of
second episode. I'm here with my good friend Huckleberry Shell, co-host of You Hipster, and our special guest today, Michael Ortman. Say hi, Michael.
Hello.
Okay, thank you very much.
Michael Ortman did not see the film.
Michael Ortman does not see the film. He just happened to be close to us when we just had to record this podcast.
But Michael Ortman is an educated man.
Mm-hmm. He's a good, nice brain.
He will be able
nice
to
thoughts.
comment.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Today's film that we saw, we went up to the theaters this afternoon, and we saw Uncle Drew.
Starring Kyrie Irving and Shaquille O'Neal.
Mm-hmm. Shaquille O'Neal was in it. We saw his ass.
We got a great view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, now Huckleberry will give you the summary of
a nice detailed summary of the film, so that you can be where we are.
One thing that I should mention is that this is a spoiler
There's a lot of spoilers.
contained episode.
So if you're gonna watch Uncle Drew
and you don't want it to be spoiled, please
look elsewhere for your review content.
Exactly. Go find an unspoiled Uncle Drew podcast.
Yes.
Anyway, Huckleberry, will you please take it away?
So the film opens with a brief little montage describing the exploits of a one Uncle Drew, who was the best basketball player ever. Better than Michael Jordan, better than your mom's boyfriend, who is like 6'3". He was really good. We got all these people, these like famous ass people, to tell us that he was really good. We saw him break somebody's leg. That was a scandal. It wasn't like figurative breaking legs. He like shook this guy so hard that his fucking leg snapped. We saw him score like 30 points against this other team with his left hand, when in the right hand he had a ham sandwich that is later revealed to have extra cheese and mayo on it.
Beginning of the film, it's revealed that he has a foot fetish.
He does have a foot fetish, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so now we see this golden fucking god practicing basketball, who is soon revealed to be named Casper.
This is present day.
This is present day. We've jumped forward. And Casper is being coached by our main man, Dax, who is the protagonist of this film, a quite short, sort of basketball-looking African-American man.
Basketball in shape.
Yes, in shape.
He's equated to an M&M, or Steve Urkel in a trash compressor.
His coloring is not basketball.
His coloring is not basketball, like he is
an African-American man. Okay, but he is coaching his basketball team for this championship that famously, 50 years ago, Uncle Drew walked out of after supposedly sleeping with one of his teammates' girls. So he's training his team, he's coaching his team. Casper is scoring left, right, and center. He's like, Casper, score more, all y'all step out. Casper's the only one who should be scoring. Now remember that. He says Casper is the only one who should be scoring.
Indeed.
I'll come back to that later. Remember that. So in rolls his rival, whose name I still don't know, but who looks like Macklemore, so we'll call him Macklemore.
The actor's Mike Crow.
We'll call him Macklemore. So Macklemore rolls up, with his like big Macklemore muscles and his big Macklemore smirk
and his big Macklemore tattoos
and rolls up and he's like, "Hey Dax, what's going wrong, Dax? What's going on?" And Dax is like, "Yo, fuck off." And he's like, "Are you still salty from when I fucking blocked your shot in like high school?" And Dax is like, "Yes."
Which is true.
And then Macklemore leans in real close and he's like, "You know, you're a star player. I'll fucking take his ass right from you." And Macklemore freaks out Dax. And then Macklemore calls Dax Dix.
Actually, it's an easy one, but they only use it once in the film.
And then Dax is like complains about this, and Macklemore's like, "Bag of Dax doesn't make any sense." And that was funny. I liked that. I laughed. I was like, "Bag of dicks." So then we get Dax, who is now a little bit freaked out, going up to Casper and being like, Yo, Casper, we're chill, right?" And then Casper starts asking him for expensive shit. Yep. And he's like, I'll hook you up. And Casper's like, "Then we're best buds, man."
Yeah.
So later we go back to the Foot Locker that Dax works at. Oh, first we go back to his apartment with his girlfriend, who has just bought this like Gucci-ass dress. And she's like, all like, once you win the 100,000 from this basketball tournament, we're gonna be in the money. I'm gonna get a fucking Tesla.
She's really into Teslas.
She's into Teslas.
Which is good. It's a green alternative to a lot of fancy sports cars.
It's good to be green.
$100K for a Tesla. Let's try.
Michael's trying. Or no, she's trying.
She's trying to get a Tesla.
Michael is commenting on her trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But that's not relevant to the plot of the film. So anyways, but then Dax is like, what about me? And she's like, we'll be a big happy family, and like gives him a nice hug, which that'll be important too. Actually, I don't remember when this happened, so I'm just going to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Because later, it's revealed that Dax is a fucking orphan.
Yeah.
And there's this scene where you've got young Dax in the orphanage with this like echoey voice being like, we'll find you a family.
I don't remember that
We'll
scene.
find you a family. Because then he sees a fucking TV monitor in the other room where there's Michael Jordan playing basketball. And he starts
that
bouncing.
one.
It transitions right into him like bouncing the ball. And then he plays basketball and we see his shot get blocked by Macklemore, by young Macklemore. Right out of nowhere. And then everybody walks out on him because he missed this shot and he's a fucking failure. An orphan failure. But anyways, this cloying, emotionally manipulative girlfriend is like, we'll be a big happy family if you buy me a Tesla. And he's like, I like that.
He wants a family. He's never had a family before.
So anyways, then he goes to Foot Locker.
Because he works at Foot Locker.
Yeah, he's helping out this kid, giving this kid shoes. When we see his good best boy, Mr. Casper, roll up, and he goes over to Casper, and Casper's like, hey, buy me and all my friends Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah! And it's like $900. And his credit card gets declined after Casper and his friends walk out with the shoes. So he gets his girlfriend to front him the like $900. And she's like, you gotta go 50-50 on the winnings. Because she's terrible. And so then he goes back to the gym to train with all the boys. And he like starts tossing them these jerseys that he just went and had made. But Casper ain't into it.
Mm-hmm.
And there, out from behind Casper's massive pecs, comes Macklemore.
I think his name's Nick Kroll, actually, not Mike.
Shut up. Macklemore. Sorry.
Macklemore.
I don't mean to be rude.
There's no beef between us, ladies and gentlemen.
There's no beef.
Mm-hmm. This is just a
no
format of the
beef.
podcast. I'd like to make that clear.
There's chicken. Macklemore comes out from behind our golden boy's pecs.
Okay.
And is like, yo, I stole your fucking team, bitch. And Casper's devastated. He goes back home. His fucking girlfriend kicks him out of the house for losing his team. Oh, because also he has a meltdown and tries to take the shoes back, the Jordans.
But that's not revealed in the scene. It's revealed
He goes on TV. He gets on TV. But anyways, his girlfriend is like, you're pathetic. Get out of my house. So he gets his fucking garbage bag and, like, takes all of his shit out of his house because now he's homeless.
Yeah.
And he starts going around looking for new players. And he can't find anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's sitting in this fucking this outdoor basketball court, and these guys are playing. And this one kid is just like Casper in that he's the only one who's shooting. He's getting all the shots, and this old man is like fucking ragging on him.
Yeah.
Ragging on him hard. He's like $10 approach, but 50-cent finish.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, you suck. So this kid gets all fucking triggered and shit. And this kid is like, yo, old man, fuck you. And this old man gets up. And he's like, yeah, well, how about we play best of 3? And if you win, I'll leave and never come back. But if I win, you have to play basketball the right way. Mm-hmm. So this kid and the old man square up. And this kid very quickly scores 2 on the old man. And Dax is about to leave. This kid has possession. The kid is fucking going for the basket, taking his time, when suddenly the old man just snags it and shoots one.
Yeah.
And Dax, like, stops. And Dax is like, okay, let's watch this shit.
Something's happening.
So then the old man has possession, and the old man fucking jukes this kid.
Yeah.
The old man fucking just plays this kid like a fucking game of checkers.
Yeah.
And then he makes 2 more shots, and this kid loses at checkers, and also at basketball. And the old man has played him. And so then the old man, who is then revealed to be Uncle Drew, walks off the court with his like little steel folding chair. And Dax follows him. And Dax is like, yes, I want you to play for me because I need people to play for me.
Yeah.
And the old man is like, I'm not doing anything for money. And Dax is like, no, it's about the love of the game. Teach all these young bloods. Because this old man calls everybody young blood.
Every single person in the entire world.
So Dax is like, teach all these young bloods how to really play. You're like a lighthouse in the middle of the fog. And the old man is like, oh, I like that. And so Dax gets into his truck. Because the old man is like, I'll play for you. But only if it's my team. Because he had this old team of 5 that he used to play with.
Yeah.
So they get into his truck, and he's got all these crazy rules, and he doesn't like hip-hop music, and there's all these funky shenanigans that involve the age difference. Dax is, like, super hot, and this old man is chilly, so he keeps turning up the heat. Mm-hmm. The old man plays fucking, like, 8 tracks of, like, old soul music and, like, sings along in his, like, terrible gravelly voice.
Mm-hmm. Which is particularly... Oh, to clarify, this is not actually an old man.
It's Kyrie Irving.
It's Kyrie Irving, but with a bunch of old makeup on.
Yeah.
They don't do a fantastic... I mean, they do a fine job, but...
They do a fine job. It's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy. He looks like a guy dressed up as an old man.
Okay, so we're rolling up on our first player, who is the priest.
Yeah.
So we get into this fucking church, and this guy has the baby in his fucking hand like a basketball.
Yeah.
And he's baptizing this fucking baby. And he's about to fucking dunk the baby like a basketball into the water.
Yeah.
And fucking Shorty, Dax, stands up and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yo, maybe don't. And the guy is like, are you questioning me? Mm-hmm. And Dax is like, yes! You're gonna dunk a baby, that's not cool. And the old man is like, somebody's gotta get dunked. So then he dunks Dax.
Yeah. They get him in like a little gown.
And then he goes and hugs Drew, and he's like, Drew. And Drew's like, Priest! Mm-hmm. And they reunite, and then Priest is gonna go play, but his wife is like, don't. But then he goes anyways, and his wife chases them, but they get away from his wife. And we're fine for now.
There's a car chase.
We got a quick car chase scene. So then we go get the second guy.
Okay.
Next is Lights, right?
Yeah, Lights and Boots. I think. No, that doesn't...
There's gotta be somebody.
No, it's Lights and Boots. They're at the same spot.
Yeah, Lights and Boots.
And
right, because we'd already got to
it.
Okay, so next is Lights. So we roll up to see Lights, and he's in this arcade shooting at this old basketball. Like, you know, those arcade basketball games. Yeah. But you can't make anything because he's blind. So how's he gonna play basketball, you ask? We don't know. Yeah. Dax is like flipping his shit a little bit, but Drew is like, no, fine. And he's with this woman, and this woman is Boots' granddaughter, who Boots is another member of their team. So we roll up on Boots, and now it's Priest, Dax, Drew, and Lights.
Mm-hmm. Along with
the granddaughter.
Granddaughter comes along for some reason also.
Yeah, she comes along for everything. It's like, it's a romance subplot.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Oh boy.
That's fine.
So we roll up on Boots, who is in a fucking wheelchair and totally unresponsive.
Yeah, it looked like he was like late stage Alzheimer's.
This man speaks 6 words in the entire film. But anyways, they're all like looking at him and like sad. And then Drew hurls a fucking basketball at his head, but he catches this shit and smiles. And the granddaughter's like, I have not seen him smile like that in 30 years.
And that's why she comes along.
So then they're like, all right, let's get you to the car. But he's not allowed to leave this fucking hospital, so they're like making a plan to like escape him. And then he just like rolls up to the van with like no explanation of how he got there. And they're about to leave. No, they're not about to leave. Because next we've got to get our last guy. Our last guy is Big Fella, who is Shaquille O'Neal,
of course,
in some old person makeup,
in New Orleans,
teaching karate in New Orleans.
They'd driven from New York to New Orleans.
He's teaching karate in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, the priest was in DC. It's unclear where Boots.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I think it does matter, because they drove all the way to New Orleans.
It doesn't matter.
Which is fucking bullshit.
He's teaching karate. He's a karate teacher.
In New Orleans.
So Drew rolls up all by himself. And everybody's like watching, because for some reason we want to know what happens. And we quickly find out why we want to know what happens, because Drew's like, oh, buddy. And Shaq socks him.
Yeah.
Fucking knocks him out. So everybody else comes and convinces Shaq to come. But there is obvious bad blood between Drew and Shaquille O'Neal.
But you don't know what it is.
But you don't know what it is. So then they all get into the car, and Priest's wife rolls up, and they're all like, oh, fucking shit, because last time she rolled up, she tried to smash the windows with a baseball bat. So they drive away. Lights is driving, who's blind. That's great. But they
he's a very good driver.
they get on the highway.
For some reason,
and they're driving back, and they're a day away from New York, where they've got to play the tournament. And Dax runs out of gas money, so he sees this group of teenage girls practicing, and he bets them that he will be able to
beat them with his team.
That his team will be able to beat them. He bets their coach $100, and their coach is like, "All right, dude." They have to do a 4-on-4 because Boots is in a wheelchair and can't actually play. So they do that, and the girls demolish them because they're old men.
Yeah.
And Drew isn't shooting because he's the only one of them who can actually play, but he has this whole philosophy where everybody has to like be an equal part of the team. We have to move as a unit.
And they're not moving as a unit.
And the girls are moving as a unit. And these guys really love these girls. Then Drew pays the $100 and pays for gas because he's got money, and Dax just didn't ask him for money
for some reason.
It's
unclear why he has that like pride.
And Dax is like, guys, we're gonna lose. And Drew was like, don't worry about it, man. And Boots' granddaughter is like, but at least they're having fun, right? And Dax is like, no. So they get back to New York, and they're gonna play this tournament. But before the tournament, Drew grabs this bag, and in it he has 4 gifts, a gift for each one. So first he gives Lights glasses.
So you can see. For some reason, Lights was not wearing glasses previously.
And so now you can see. Second...
Boots some new legs, right?
No. He gives Boots his old basketball shoes.
He's called Boots.
And Boots puts them on, and he stands up.
Yeah, he's suddenly not in a wheelchair anymore.
Yep. And at first he's sort of hobbling a little bit, but not for long.
Yeah, because he plays basketball in the end of the movie.
He gives Priest this cross on a necklace.
That Priest had given him when he was like 9.
To give him like a burst of strength.
Yeah.
And then he gives Shaq this old trophy, the first trophy that they won together. But Shaq drops it on the ground and grinds it up under his boot.
He's like,
So we got the game.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. The game is tomorrow. Before the game, it's revealed that Macklemore stole Dax's original girlfriend because he's Macklemore.
The one who wants the Tesla.
And Dax rolls up at their house like to get the jerseys, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you knocking. We were in the shower." And he's like, "But we weren't getting clean, were we?" And she's like, "No, we were getting dirty." And it's awful. It's awful. So we were at the game, right? And Shaq isn't there. Last minute, Shaq rolls up, but he's not playing. He's just standing in the middle of the court, fucking blocking Drew's path. And he's like, "I'm not gonna play until you say it." And Drew's like, "Say what?" And he's like, You know what. But Drew doesn't know what.
Yeah.
Drew's a dummy. So eventually a timeout gets called. And Dax is like, "Come on, guys, just play." And they start playing, and Drew is fucking kicking tail.
Yeah.
Drew is like spinning and jumping and bouncing, and they got a 20-point lead. And Drew goes to make one more shot, but Shaq fucking swats him out of the air.
Yeah.
Shaq is like, "You selfish asshole." And then we see Shaq at a grave. And Drew rolls up, and he's like, "Come on, man, we barely even knew her." And Shaq is like, "I married her." And Drew's like, "I can't believe you married her after." And Shaq is like, "I can't believe you slept with her."
Wow.
And then Shaq was like, "I loved her." And Drew was like, "I loved her too." Then Drew was like, "I'm sorry, man." And Shaq is like, "Sorry ain't good enough." And Drew was like, "I am." And Shaq was like, "You mean it?" And Drew was like, "I do mean it."
Now sorry is good.
And now they're friends.
Yeah.
So the next game, they're all fucking kicking ass. And Shaq's like, "Feed me, man, feed me." And so at the end of the game, Drew throws Shaq the ball because everybody's got to score. Yeah. Unlike on Dax's first team. And Shaq goes to make a shot. But Shaq fucking has a heart attack!
Yeah. He misses it and then he has a heart attack.
He misses it and then he has a heart attack. But before this, there's a scene where they're at the club and they have a dance battle. But that's not important. So Shaq misses
That's the worst scene in the
and he has a heart attack.
Yeah. I'm just going to skip that entire part of that.
And then we're looking for a new player, and fucking Priest girl shows up, Priest's wife,
Yeah,
and
the one
Priest
that-
is
the
like,
one
oh,
that-
I missed you. But then she's like, I'll play ball, so she ties her hair back, and she's fucking, because she can apparently play amazing basketball too.
Yeah, like
Even though she's an infirm old woman. And all these other guys are infirm old men. But yeah, so anyways, they're winning and they're winning and they're winning, and they get to the finals.
Yes.
And it's the finals against freaking Macklemore's team.
yeah, cool.
Casper's team. And they're all playing.
McElmore's team is called Home Court Advantage,
Macklemore's team is called the Home Court Advantage.
which is a great
Which is
name.
a fantastic name. So everybody's playing and it's all Gucci. But we're losing by a little bit. Macklemore's team is winning because Casper is a beast. Halftime we get a pep talk and then it becomes neck and neck and freaking there's a shot that lights blocks that results in both him and Casper being out, and neither team has any more players. So Macklemore and Dax come in, just like back in high school. And Dax is like, I'll play, but only if I can guard Macklemore. And so they're playing, and Macklemore just jukes Dax and shoots. But we only need 3 more points. The good guys are 2 points down. The bad guys are 2 points up. Bad guys have possession.
Yeah.
Macklemore is going. He looks cocky. When Dax steals that shit right out of his fucking hands, he's about to shoot his 3. Macklemore's on him. He's panicking. He calls timeout. And then he makes this whole elaborate plan for Priest to make the 3.
Yeah.
And everybody's staring at him, and they're like, no, you gotta do it. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because apparently they don't care about winning anymore.
It would have been easy for Uncle Drew to make it, or Priest to make it, or anyone else who's made a bunch of 3s in the previous.
But no, he's gotta make it.
Yeah.
And he's like, but what if I don't make it? And Drew's like, but what if you do?
Yeah.
No, they all say that in
They all say it
unison.
at the same time.
But what if you do?
And then they're like, you missed. Oh, welcome back to the you Hipster podcast. We had to take a quick break right there because I got a call about a clubhouse, the Gallivanting Club. But that is not here nor there. It is, in fact, where I am. Now, Huckleberry was telling us about the end of the movie.
So Dax,
Mm-hmm.
has to take this shot. And he's there, ready to take the shot, and freaking Macklemore rolls up, about to block him, just like he blocked him last time.
Yeah.
And Dax freaking ducks Macklemore, comes up, hits the 3. Everybody loves Dax.
Yeah.
He gets the girl. The end. The end.
The end. They like nothing else.
Happy ending.
Yeah.
And then we have some post-credit bloopers.
They're good post-credit bloopers.
And we see Shaquille O'Neal's anus.
Yeah, we do. Not his anus, his butt.
His butt.
His anus is the hole.
That's true.
Yeah, you did not see his anus. His whole
You don't
butt.
see his anus.
But that is in a portion of the movie. That is my favorite. During the final basketball game, Shaquille O'Neal's in the hospital having had a heart attack. He gets up. Well, first he tries to turn on his TV.
But his TV won't come on.
His TV will not
So
come
he
on.
gets up to try to find a TV.
He goes out to the front
Nobody has
desk.
a TV.
He goes out to the front desk. He talks to the nurse, and he's like, "Hey, my TV's not working." And she goes, "What do I look like? An electrician who's rather rude to a patient?"
Yeah.
He continues on. He goes into the staff lounge. He asks, "Hey, you guys got a TV in here?" They say no. And he goes into the waiting room where there is a TV. He changes the channel, and he stands there and watches the game with other people in the waiting room. And then at the end of the game, his little gown comes undone in the back, and you get to see his ass.
Yes. Because he's too big for the gown.
Yeah.
He's got a nice big ass. Alright, notes. We've got some notes.
We do have some notes.
Max is going to go over our notes, and we're going to discuss them.
Yes. Okay, first note is... Where is it? First note is about the ads before the movie.
Okay, yes. We have some interesting ads.
Mm-hmm. There was an ad for Groupon where a woman was talking about how you can get anything on Groupon, including a Groupon. There was a strip club on Groupon that she liked.
There was a strip club, and somebody she got thrown underwear, and she threw them back, and she's like, I want you to put these back on and take them off again.
Mm-hmm. That was a very unusual ad for Groupon.
It was a really interesting advertisement.
There was a Levi's ad that we really liked, and I think Levi's should make a movie.
Yeah,
just with people dancing
we think
in
Levi's
jeans.
should make a movie. We
They
like
made a
their
good ad.
cinematography.
Yeah.
We like their casting.
Mm-hmm. In the ad for the AMC, there was a lot of ethnically ambiguous couples. which was probably intentional.
Max True appreciated the ethnic ambiguity, so did I.
And my first note is welcome back to the Clattering Plates podcast. This is a podcast where we just listen to a bunch of plates clattering.
Okay. Your first note?
My first note was at the beginning of the movie, Dax says to Casper, "You are my Beyonce." I thought that was interesting. And the rest of he just insults the rest of the team.
Yeah, because he's selfish and he wants his teammates to play selfishly.
Exactly. Nick Kroll comes up, and he was called Macklemore in the movie. I thought it was interesting that it was Nick Kroll, who was the only white person in the entire movie, I think.
The only prominent white person, at least.
Who else was?
I mean, there were like white people, like there was those white old ladies crossing the street.
Right. Oh, the second most prominent white person was the news reporter guy who reported on Dax's mishaps. They call him Dix. He sleeps in a really nice bed for someone who works at Foot Locker, and then it was revealed that it was his girlfriend's apartment. Dax...
His gold digger girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. My next note was Dax and Casper are gay for each other, and they're gay for shoes. But turns out Casper is just, a gold digger.
Yeah. But Dax is gay for Casper still.
Oh, for sure, definitely. Who isn't gay for Casper?
Casper is beautiful.
Indeed. Okay. This is when they got into the backstory of how Nick Kroll blocked Dax's shot. And I was like, why did he stop playing basketball after one shot was blocked? I thought that was very unusual.
Yeah, that was weird. Also, everybody freaking left the room.
Yeah, he blocked a shot, and then the game stopped. Everyone in the stadium left, and they just left Dax standing there. It was very odd.
It was super weird. Poor Dax.
Yeah. My next note was about his girlfriend. First, it says she's awful, and second, it says she was not wearing a shirt. And I don't think she wore an actual shirt throughout the entire movie, which I think is, it's fine. That's her fashion choice. But, she did not wear a shirt the entire time. Uncle Drew has a foot fetish. I forget where that came up.
Oh, yeah.
But he definitely
in the barbershop.
In the barbershop. Yeah, the barber was like, Uncle Drew likes feet. And then they're like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, they were like, who cares what Uncle Drew does when he's not on the court?
No one denied it. That was the interesting
thing.
thing.
This one thing. I like you, a good one.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Michael
Orman is catering for us.
Michael Orman is catering for us. He's doing a little cooking.
A legendary man. All right, go on with the notes.
At one point, Uncle Drew says to a man, "Hold my nuts."
And
he had a bag of nuts and he just handed it to someone, and the guy was like, "Hold my nuts, what do you mean?"
And everybody in the theater was like, "Ooh."
But it wasn't that good of a burn, if I'm being honest.
Now I'm getting a call.
Oh, okay. Uncle Barry's getting a call now. We might have to put this on hold. Oh, it's Will Shannon presumably on the other end of the
I'm
call.
gonna let you know. Me and Max are recording a podcast, though, so be quiet.
It sounds like
be quiet.
It sounds like we'll have a second guest star as of Will Shannon. We'll have to see Will Shannon's take on this movie. We have a lot of guest stars today. Michael Orman hasn't said very much either.
No.
Max and I are recording.
We'll get to the reviews and opinions section of our podcast in a minute. Yes. Welcome, Will, to the podcast.
I'm in the podcast now. Fuck you up.
All right.
Yep. We also have our good friend Jasper in the background, but he hasn't said anything yet. Ashley. Fuck. Ashley.
We got it.
In the background.
I'm making some cake.
But she hasn't said anything yet.
I'm not sure.
Uncle Drew says Youngblood a lot. A lot.
Yes, Uncle Drew. He calls everybody Youngblood.
Every single person Youngblood. They call DC Chocolate City.
Yes, they do
Which
call
is
DC Chocolate City, which is interesting.
In 2018, good old Uncle Drew says, "What is Google?" Which is, just kind of just unreasonable at this point. That
Or just
this
unrealistic.
old man.
There's all of this relatable youth versus stupid old person stuff going on that's super unrealistic.
Yeah.
Uncle Drew says, quote, I can't do that hippity hoppity rap stuff.
Yep, and it's very unusual. It's a road trip film after that. They're going to pick up everybody.
It was like part sports comedy, part road trip film. It was so weird.
Someone says I have a degree from Trump University. I think that's Nick Kroll.
Yeah, Macklemore.
Thank you very much. In the same university as Get Out. I was going to note this. At one point they said, it's like Get Out. And that proves that the Uncle Drew canon is officially within the same universe as Get Out. Which is interesting.
What? Well,
no, he's seen the film.
Yeah, he's seen the film.
In the same universe in where the film Get Out exists.
Yeah, where the film Get Out exists.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Which is interesting. It's in this universe. So that means Jordan Peele, right? Jordan Peele was the director of that, right?
Yeah.
He was the director of Get Out. That means he is still a director, and presumably the people, Key and Peele, still exist, right?
Yes.
But in this universe, Shaquille O'Neal is an old man. Shaquille O'Neal doesn't exist because he is portraying this man, along with Nick Kroll, who doesn't exist, which means he could have never been on Parks and Rec, which cancels out a lot of episodes of Parks and Rec. And it's just a very interesting.
It's an interesting universe from a cinematographic perspective.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that they acknowledge the existence of Get Out as a film, but at the same time, I don't know. But see,
I think your point is made.
Yeah, but does that mean that Get Out exists?
Yes. Get Out was made.
Keegan-Michael Key is in Parks and Rec, but so is Nick Kroll. And so they could have never had...
So does Parks and Rec exist?
Does Parks and Rec exist? That's the real question. That is the real question. That the mentioning of Get Out brings up.
It will probably never be answered.
It probably will not. Although I should probably tweet the directors and ask them.
You should.
It's interesting.
Sure, they'll make a web series about it.
I wrote old people issues, but I do not remember why I wrote old people issues.
Because old people have issues.
Indeed.
Don't respect the elderly, Hulk.
Boots' daughter and Dax are gonna fuck. They did. That was early on, and then they basically did.
It was a good call, Max. Max called it before I did.
I wrote Asian black people, and they're in New Orleans suddenly. I don't see why Shaquille O'Neal was teaching a bunch of young kids karate.
Yeah, that was so weird.
It was very unusual.
Why was Shaquille O'Neal a karate instructor?
I don't know.
It's probably the same build, basketball, karate. The same thing.
Right.
It's the same muscles.
Same muscles. And then they're in New Orleans. I still don't find that plausible that they drove from New York to New Orleans and back.
It's not supposed to be plausible. It's supposed to be funny.
But why, they could have just put him anywhere. Honestly, they didn't have to put him in New Orleans.
The karate dojo in New Orleans was already weird enough.
Yeah, okay. That sucker punch is the first free throw you ever made. You said you wanted to.
Oh! This is the fucking first time ever in my life that being like a sports fan at age 6 helped me. Shaquille O'Neal, in real life, couldn't make free throws. It was like a thing. Like, he was an amazing player, but he couldn't make free throws.
This is true.
And they fucking had a line about the Shaquille O'Neal player never making free throws.
My God.
And I was like, oh my God!
So
I
is
get
this...
it.
Okay, I think I know what this is. Because this is clearly not Shaquille O'Neal. This is Big Boy, right? Or whatever.
Big fella.
Big fella and Shaquille O'Neal. Like, Shaquille O'Neal doesn't exist in this universe because Shaquille O'Neal is Big Fella. But I think this is an alternate timeline where Shaquille O'Neal, instead of becoming a famous NBA basketball player, got roped in with this guy, Uncle Drew.
Right.
And he has all the same attributes as Shaquille O'Neal, except for the fact that he never went pro.
Yeah.
And instead he had this feud with Uncle Drew, and that stopped his basketball career.
Yes. Cold.
And then so I think what that means is that he's the same person. It's just an alternate timeline version of Shaquille O'Neal. And that's what we've really discovered. It's just an alternate timeline of Shaquille O'Neal.
It's an alternate timeline of Shaquille O'Neal.
Exactly.
That doesn't explain the others.
It doesn't, but I don't know. Next note is Mike Kroll is constantly chewing gum and basically omnipotent. They were taking a shower.
He is omnipotent.
They were taking a shower, and then he gets out of the shower and comes to the door, and he's seen chewing gum still.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that was
does he have like his like secret gum stash where he like pulls out a piece of gum post shower to like not ruin. Is he like fucking chewing gum while he's fucking his girlfriend in the shower?
I think
like,
he was. Because that's the only way that makes any sense.
Yeah, he was.
Will says he was.
I mean, I've chewed gum in the shower.
I'd believe it.
But if you chewed gum and fucked your girlfriend in the shower at the same time,
I have not. And I think I wouldn't do that because I'd spit the gum out first. So
that's
like,
it. That's the pro strat.
Unless I'm addicted to gum. Or it's nicotine gum. It's fucking nicotine gum.
It's nicotine
It's
gum.
nicotine gum. Oh my god, he has a nicotine
Or it's
addiction.
just chewing tobacco.
Or he's just chewing tobacco. It's one of the two. It can't just be normal gum. He's
can't be
constantly
normal
chewing
gum.
it.
It
But he
can't be
blows
normal.
bubbles and stuff. Can you blow bubbles
He does
with
blow
nicotine
bubbles.
gum?
It's nicotine gum
Okay.
with bubble.
With bubble
Maybe
stuff.
he just enjoys
I
that.
do.
They give old people Tinder in the club.
Oh yeah, in the before the dance off scene, the blind one is swiping through Tinder.
Yeah. Oh, he's not blind anymore since they give him glasses.
Yeah, he's been able to see for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Stop taking about fucking your girlfriend in the shower. We're past that.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay. One, I wrote in the club ? Because I thought that was kind of weird why they decided to go to a club, like a bunch of old people.
It was so weird.
It was just
so
it
weird.
was kind of odd.
And then they have like a fucking okay. So let me describe this scene to you.
Mhm.
The old people are sitting there being like, "Oh, if I was their age, I would bust out my moves." And then this young dude starts making fun of them. And then fucking Boots gets up and he's like, "Hold my beer," which is like the only words that he's ever spoken in this whole film.
Mhm.
And then the five of them get up and have like an elaborate dance battle with these young people, which ends in them all hugging and dancing together.
Mm-hmm. But like they'll do like simple dance moves, and the crowd's like cheering them on needlessly.
Yeah.
Like they really like these old people in the club.
Freaking Shaq did this like little breakdancing thing.
Mm-hmm. Shaq had a seizure on screen, and they all just like clapped about it. It was
Shaq
ridiculous.
shook up and down. Oh my god, it was foreshadowing the heart attack!
Oh my god, it was fucking foreshadowing the heart attack. Wow, this is a much more elaborate movie than I thought.
Or, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, Shaq. That's one of my notes. Shaq has a seizure on camera. Also, I was like, why is everything solved by a fight? Why are they always like, oh, 1v1 me, and then we'll decide who like wins? They don't have a conversation about it. I was like, just talk it out. It's so simple.
Real men solve their problems through a 1v1.
That's true. They are real, man.
And then I wrote Never Had a Family, which is, Dax's thing.
Oh yeah, and Dax has this whole bit where he's like flirting with this girl.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "How much do your family pay you to take care of Boots?" And she's like, "Can't I just do it for like the love of him?" And he's like, "Well, I wouldn't know because I never had a family."
And she's like, okay, Dax. That doesn't...
Like, chill, man.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna use that in my pickup line.
Playing the sympathy card too hard.
It's kind of ridiculous. Next, it was Never Had a Family, Home Court Advantage, which is the best basketball team name in
Ever.
the history. I have to believe that Nick Kroll came up with that one. There was a Viagra joke because before the game they were all taking their pills, and
And he was like, and Priest is like, not the blue pill, and his wife is like, "We'll save that for tonight."
yeah, I don't know why they needed to put that in there. It's a little.
That's on the nose.
Mm-hmm. Then I wrote old people are overrated, and I don't remember.
because Macklemore says that to the crowd.
Oh yeah,
When his team is winning, Macklemore is like trying to pump up the crowd for like Casper, and he's like, "Old people are overrated."
and it was not true in the end apparently.
The famous words of Will Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't say that.
That's an ancient Chinese proverb.
And then there was a Shaq interlude at the hospital, which was the best part of
Yeah. Max described to you
Fucking-
the Shaq interlude,
the Shaq interlude at the
which
hospital.
ended with
Come
us
back.
seeing his big ass.
Mm-hmm. Which was good.
Why do you need to see Shaq's big ass?
He has a
Why
really
don't
big
you
ass.
want to see Shaq's big ass?
In the end, he gets the girl. He steps up on another
But not
step
homosexual.
so he can be like at her level.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Like he's like talking to the girl, and he's like 6 inches shorter than her, and he wants to like kiss her, so he like steps up onto the stairs,
Uh-huh.
and then she's like, "I like this."
This is much, yeah, something like that. And then the last note I have is Uncle Drew is thick, which he is. He was very thick in the movie.
All right. And I think we decided on exit music, right, Max? Once you're actually
Exit
editing
movie.
this together.
Yeah, we'll put some
Outro
extra movies in
music.
here. But now we're gonna put some opinions in, and I was gonna ask what
opinions. We've got to give our ratings.
what Ashley, Will, and Michael thought first.
Okay, Ashley.
Based
What do you
on
rate
that-
this film?
This is my film on
3 Pepsis out of 5.
3 Pepsis out of 5. Interesting.
Mike Orman, what do you rate this film?
Like on like a scale.
Whatever scale you want.
Would you go see this film? Now that we've described it.
No. after you've like described the whole thing, I get like a pretty good picture, and I don't think it'd be worth my time to go see this film. Unfortunately.
That's what I thought.
Do you think it was worth ours?
Oh, do I think it was worth your time?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that's up to you. That's an opinion thing. I'm not gonna like just think for you.
That's a good point.
Use your mind.
Yeah. Well, how would you rate the film after hearing it?
Probably like a 6 or 7 out of 10, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Because it's it's a comedy. I enjoy good comedy, but I think a lot of comedies do this thing where they have unnecessary subplots or like weird morals going on when you could just do like some like slapstick comedy and it'd be fine.
Right.
What do you think, Will?
I've seen it already.
You've seen this movie?
I pirated it illegally, yeah.
Why? Can I ask why you pirated this movie?
Hey!
I'm having fun.
Now everyone doesn't. Now no one here has plausible deniability.
Can
You're
I
gonna get arrested.
ask why you sought this movie out?
Why I sought this movie
Yeah.
out? I wanted to see Shaq bust his moves. And I was not disappointed. I would
Yep.
give this a solid
Yeah, to see
10 out of
Shaq's
10.
ass.
9 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Shaq did bust a lot of moves in this movie. Okay, now
How did you feel about the dance battle scene?
The dance battle scene was fire, bro.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so let me give you my review. We break it down into categories for the people who have seen the film. First, the acting. But the acting was
I have the acting at a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Yeah, I think that's about where it falls for me too.
Yeah.
The script.
Kyrie Irving was like pathetic.
Yeah,
If anything, the bad acting makes it better, though.
Yeah. Dax was good. Dax was funny.
That's good. I like Nick Kroll.
I liked Macklemore. He was so slappable.
Mm-hmm. He was good.
This is true.
So yeah, I give the acting
White
a 4 out of
people.
10.
3 out of 10. For me.
What is it? The script / message.
I also give that a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 10 too. There wasn't anything.
It was really poorly
original.
written.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because of specifically the Shaq scene, the Shaq interlude scene where he's walking around the hospital and he's just like, "Do you guys have a TV in here?" That was the funniest shit in the entire movie. I love that part.
Okay, the score.
The score,
I give that an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I give it like a 6 out of 10. That was fine.
I really liked the score.
Yeah.
I liked the mediocre rap songs that they played during the basketball.
Yeah.
I liked the Isley Brothers song that Biggie sampled. And I liked Dax starting to rap the Biggie. I thought that was super
Dax
believable.
didn't fucking rap.
Dax got bars. I mean, it was Biggie's bars, but Dax got them.
Yeah. Next category is a genre success. Did it succeed in the comedy genre?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was exactly what it was
Yeah.
going to be, and so I give that, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it was exactly what it wanted to be.
Yeah, it didn't fail at the weird comedy. And then the last category is others, which is that we've decided to make today.
The post credits
The post credits bloopers.
which were fantastic,
They were
and I
very
give it a
good.
10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. There was a very low quality photo of Shaq moving about the hospital set with his ass out. He slapped it at one
We
point.
liked that.
It was very good.
There was this really funny bit where Dax and Macklemore were improvising with their comedic insults. And Macklemore described Dax as Steve Urkel stuck in a trash compactor, and they both lost their shit because that's a funny fucking line.
Mm-hmm. And so I give the other category, which is again the bloopers, a 10 out of 10. Good, they were good bloopers, and it was presented in a good way, just after the film. While the
I give
credits
that
were
an 8
rolling.
out of 10.
And so together, mine was a 3, a 4, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 9, and a 10. So add those up and then divide it by 5, and then that is my score. And I will not do it for you.
I just did mine, and mine is pretty
Dear
much
listeners.
exactly a 6.
Exactly a 6. I don't
6
want
out of
to.
10.
I don't want to give it a 6 though. I give it a 6.
I want to give it a 6.
It was better than Adrift, which is the last movie we saw.
It was better than Adrift.
I had more fun watching.
I really enjoyed watching this movie, even though it wasn't very good.
Adrift tried to do things, I think.
Adrift tried to do things and failed.
It
This
failed.
movie didn't try to do anything.
But it I give it a 5 because
God, I love Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, six is because of Shaquille O'Neal and that one interview.
God, I love
'Cause that
Shaquille
was
O'Neal's ass.
that was interesting.
You need to stop, huh?
Not in a sexual way. Just I respect it.
You still need to stop.
That ass is like bigger than your torso.
Shh.
Anyway,
Shaquille O'Neal's a thickie.
thank you for listening to the.
That wasn't okay. That was.
Thank you for listening to the Hipster podcast. I am Max Chu. This is Huckleberry Shelf. We have Ashley. I don't remember what your last name is.
Ashley Mackey.
Ashley Mackey.
William Shannon.
William Shannon and Michael Orman. Thank you for tuning in, and please tune in next time. Huck will talk less about Shaquille O'Neal's ass.